Now, a 3-year-old boy has died in what police have described as a tragic dog attack at a home in Greater Manchester. Police were called to an address in Milne Row yesterday after reports of a young child being injured. The boy was taken by ambulance to hospital where he was subsequently pronounced dead. The latest attack takes the total number of people to have died from dog attacks in the UK since last November to 6, and that includes the lives of 3 young children. By way of comparison, 22 people in total between 2013 and 2019, an average of just over 3 deaths per year. So something does seem to be going on. Why are we seeing, if this is what it is, a rise in attacks? What can be done to stop it if that is what's happening? Let's turn to Colin Tennant, former police dog handler, now a dog behaviouralist. Welcome to you, Colin. When I heard about this attack at the weekend, it just rang a bell. It feels like we've had a lot of these attacks. Sadly, too many of them have been fatal, involving young children. Do you discern any particular trends?
It's too early to tell, because in 2018, I was looking at some statistics, there was no dog attacks. And then we have this high vault of dog attacks that you've just described. There are many reasons why it could happen, but at this point in time, we're just presuming that there's more dogs because more people have purchased dogs. And there's also people are buying more what I would call status dogs, dogs of the bull breeds. And the people who are buying them are not people, in my view, that should be buying them. Excuse me.
Colin, thanks for turning that off. I remember, got to be, 20, 25 years ago, there was a real moral panic, the Dangerous Dogs Act. There was a slew of fatalities then. The law was reframed. What difference did it make then, and what difference might a legal change make now, and what might it be?
Well, the Dangerous Dogs Act came in because some young girls in Glasgow were killed in the early 90s. I think it was around about 1993. And there was a campaign, and that's what brought the Act in. I've not seen any evidence that the Act has altered anything, because what we're trying to alter is the attitude and the education of dog owners. And that's the crux of the problem. If people are not going to invest the time to study what sort of dog they want, and also we have the status dogs where people are buying dogs for image. It's an extension of their ego. So they're buying these large breeds.
Do you think it is image? Yeah, I just wonder if it is image. I mean, our opening item today was talking about knife crime. One poor woman who lost her grandson to a violent crime incident was saying, the parts of the UK now, people are terrified. They carry knives for protection. By the same token, presumably they have a status dog, not just for status, but for protection.
Well, I think that the status dog's been here for probably 20 years and increasing each year. There's more and more people, especially if you go into the inner cities like London, where I've spent most of my career. You see more and more people going around with bull-type breeds. And the ones I deal with in court, often in the defence, very few, if hardly any of the people have done what normal dog owners do, which is get a puppy, socialise it, introduce it to a local dog training club. They seem to ignore all of that, and all their advice comes from their, if you wish, status club friends, the people who they got the dog off. It's bordering on like an underworld of dog sales, and so they kind of bypass the normal behaviour of pet dog owners.
I have to leave it. Appreciate your time. Thanks very much indeed. Ella Whelan's alongside me. Should dog owners be licensed, Ella?
Well, I don't know about... I think that certainly there is a weird rise in the use of status dogs. I mean, I see it around London, these terrifying animals on the end of chains that clearly haven't been trained properly. But I think there's a kind of... And this is difficult to talk to with a British audience because Brits love their dogs, and that's not something that's just come about recently. But I think there has been a change in the way in which we treat animals. There's been I remember, my grandfather had a sheepdog. It was very well trained and was around us as babies, but it stayed outside. There was a real difference. It was a dog. We were human beings.
It's a working animal.
Yeah, there was a difference to it. It was a working animal and there was a respect there. And I think now increasingly, I have my bugbears. I see people bringing dogs into cafes, which I hate. And there's a real blurring of the lines between humans and animals. And when that happens and you forget that a dog is an unpredictable thing at the end of the day, accidents happen and tragedies happen.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.